Welcome to Real Estate Jam Session. We've got a great one for you today. Gogo Bethke. She's a real estate influencer. She's on social everywhere. She really knows how to use these tools. And she's going to walk us through today how to use Instagram stories to work with local businesses to drive more leads. So make sure you check out the video, give us a like, and while you're there, make sure you subscribe. Now, if you're new to this channel, my name is Joe Killinger. I've been a real estate entrepreneur for 20 plus years. And I use this platform to bring on guests, and we talk about the stories that we've got, and there's a lot of them, about the successes we've had and the failures we had and what we learned from those failures. So it can be a really good educational process. So make sure you check it out. And again, give us a like, and if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe. Well, Gogo, thank you for coming on today. I know that you've got a lot of hectic stuff happening right now in your life, but I think you bring a lot of value to our listeners. I think a lot of, especially newer agents that are trying to figure out a path in their marketing can learn a lot from you. You know, I follow you on Instagram and LinkedIn and all of them, and you're constantly, you're getting your posts done. You're bringing value at almost every instance. You put some fun stuff up too, by the way. I really enjoy it. And so, but I think you bring a lot of value to our listeners. So thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I always say I'm as good as my word, right? So if I say 2 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock and I'll be here. I'm physically here, right? Not in my best physical. But
well, you got to tell them you're moving, you're relocating to another state with kids, building a house. She's got water dripping in the other room right now. We're trying to figure out what's going on. So you've got a lot. And so it really...
3 new businesses in the last 3 months because I thought it was a great idea, right? So
yeah. So thank you for you're starting strong in 2022. You know, halfway through the year, you're going to be in a new place, and kids are going to be in a new school. It'll be exciting times. But you know, talking about Instagram stories and how to partner with local businesses to drive business. I can see that you would have a lot of success in that, but now, because you're an established platform already, right? So, but if I'm a new agent, how do you suggest I use Instagram stories to help launch my business?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to write down my preferred vendors list because I don't want to forget it. So I remember, I remember when it dawned on me one day that I'm expecting, of course, everybody to use me, right? Everybody that does know me, which by the way, not a lot of people, because I'm originally from Romania and locally, I really knew no one. But think about it. Do you expect the people that you do know, friends, family, cousins, high school friends, yada, yada, to use you?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, absolutely, right? Like, I don't want to see somebody else's yard sign in my best friend's front yard, right? But then I was thinking to myself, do I use them?
Yeah.
So when do I even know what they do?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the people that I consider my Facebook friends, do I know if they're a painter, a plumber, a dog walker, or you name it, right? Like, do I know? And if I do know, do I use them? Do I support them and their family while I'm expecting them to support and feed mine?
Yeah.
So then when my husband joined us in real estate, he came up with what we call the preferred vendors list. And I strongly recommend, if you don't have one, start one. Pretty much what that is like an Excel sheet, right? That has the name of the business, person that can be contacted, their cell phone number, their physical location, maybe what they do, and if they can give a credit, right? So some sort of a coupon or some sort of a discount to your people, and then a link where you can guide them to, right? So you want to build that out. And I would definitely start with even though these are all local businesses, but I want you to start with your friends and family, the people that you're expecting them to use you. So in return, you would support them and their families, right? So I would start with your Facebook friends and just message them and, hey, I'm building a preferred vendors list. I know you know that I'm a realtor, right? But my clients, my buyers and sellers sometimes ask me if I know a painter, if I know a plumber, if I know an electrician, if I know somebody who can build a deck. Right? Do you have a side business, or do you have a real everyday job business, right? And I can support you in that fits into any of these categories.
Okay.
Right? Maybe it's a local daycare, right? And then I ask them, so then we send them our preferred vendors list and they plug themselves in. It's like a Google Sheet questionnaire, right?
Okay.
What is your business name? Where are you guys located? What's a good phone number for you guys? What's a good email address? What's a good physical location? Is there a discount that you can give our Gogo's real estate team customers? And then they say, yeah, we can give $100 off of your beehive relocation. whatever that is, right? Whatever services that they have.
Sure, yeah.
And then slowly you're building that report. Now, every single Tuesday, when you look at my profile, it may not look like I'm promoting someone, right? But every single Tuesday I'm promoting. That's my promotional day, right? And that's where you take that link, and that's where you say, hey, guys, by the way, Joe Schmo is my best friend. He's been my best friend since childhood, right? Joe is one of the best plumbers in the area. I just want you guys to get familiar with Joe. And maybe you go out on Sunday and you hang out with Joe and your friend and you shoot a quick little video and Joe explains who he is and what he does for a living. And then Tuesday you promote that. So every single Tuesday, whatever fits into your schedule, right? But whatever you do, it's going to have to be consistent, right? You're going to have to do it on the same day every single time, because consistency is what's going to eventually make you the money, right? You can't, I love when agents are like, I posted, where are the leads?
Yeah, it's the instant gratification kind of goes out the window, doesn't it? With this. Patience is another thing.
Yeah, you're going to have to earn their trust. That's not how it works, right? You're going to have to do the same thing over and over again until it clicks for them one day of like, oh, she's a realtor. That's why that Gogo chick sells real estate, right? And eventually they're going to come and buy and sell with me. But I did that. God only knows, I probably posted over 80,000 times in my career, and, today the social media queen. So that's what I want you to do. Number one, support your friends. Number two, be consistent of when you're going to promoting these local businesses. I would always do video if there's a chance you want to do video, and 80% of the time you want to be in it. And you're like, well, who's going to hold the camera? I don't know, ask somebody, take your 14-year-old with you, right? Or if not, you can go on Amazon. If you go on my Amazon store, so if you go to my Instagram, click the link and go to links, there's my Amazon store. There's ring light. Then I use that folds down, right? That will fit in your car. Have it in your car at all times. Take it with you. Set up the ring light, put your camera in it, make sure you put it on airplane mode, because there's nothing worse than getting a call in the middle of your video. Learn it from me, right? So put your phone in airplane mode and turn Wi-Fi off. Wi-Fi off, airplane mode. So then you cannot get calls, texts in the middle of the video, right? And then depending what platform you're going to post it on. So if you're going to post it on the platforms like YouTube, right, where you're actually going to get a link in return, you want to shoot your video horizontally. If you're going to use it on Instagram, stories, IGTV, TikTok, you want to use it vertically. So it's just depending where you want to promote it, right? So you might want to shoot the video in two different formats. Same thing. I mean, it's going to be somewhat the same thing, right? In two different formats. And maybe you interview Joe, right? Say, hey, Joe, by the way, everyone, this is Gogo. This is Joe, my best friend since childhood, right? Joe is one of my favorite plumber here locally. I just wanted you guys to know him. Joe, tell him about you. And then Joe goes on for a minute, tells about his business. And I say, Joe, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? And he says, phone number, email address, website, right? And at the end, we say, hey, by the way, if you're a Gogo's real estate customer, then you get 10% off. Make sure to mention when you are working with Joe that you're one of our clients, right? And that's it.
Beautiful. Yeah, that building your team is key.
Yeah. And
you
then so
build your team.
And then you can eventually, after you run out of all of your friends, right? After you run out of all of your friends, that's going into local businesses and start supporting other local businesses, right? But you will then eventually put it on rotation. So right now we have so many local vendors on our preferred vendors list that if I did every Tuesday, I probably couldn't even get through all of them in a year. Right? Because we have more than 50 some. So you might just do different categories. Maybe this year feature this plumber, and next year, because we have at least 4 or 5 of everything, right? 4 or 5 plumbers, 4 or 5 electricians, 4 or 5 handyman, 4 or 5 of everything. So if that's the case, you're going to run out of Tuesdays.
Be pushing.
Exactly. So, or you put them on rotation, or you feature more than, you might feature multiple businesses in a week. I just can't, because my feed would be I have so many different businesses, right? Each business has to get a turn. There's only 7 days in a week. So I only feature businesses on a Tuesday, but you could do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, but posting as much as you can and building your team is so key to your success, because your sphere of influence, your friends, your family, and all those college alumni, high school alumni are so key. And if you can promote them on your social, that's huge. Now, do you a lot of people your Instagram posts are different than your Facebook posts, or different to you. Do you do that as well? They're all different?
Kind of. Yes and no. So most of the things, so my Instagram is linked to my Facebook, right? And automatically everything would go over to Facebook. But so I do everything on Instagram, and then I choose. If I'm on the beach in a bathing suit, right, and mimosa in hand, that can go on Instagram. That's totally fine. but I
Right.
can't send it over to Facebook, and I'm certainly not going to post it on LinkedIn. Right.
Right.
So you just have to see where you fit in on all of these different platforms and only post the things that kind of fit into that environment. Right. So Facebook is kind of, Instagram, you can do whatever, right? You can be in your bathing suit, do whatever, live life, right?
Yeah.
Instagram is fine for that. Facebook is kind of in the middle. It's not necessarily like, I always call LinkedIn like HR. If you ever had a corporate America job,
Yeah.
if HR would approve of that post, you can post it on LinkedIn. If HR doesn't
Exactly.
approve of that post, you can't post it on LinkedIn, right? And
Right.
Facebook is kind of in the middle, since everybody and your grandmother is on Facebook, right? It's kind of that middle of like, you can be that boring like LinkedIn, but you also can be as fun as Instagram. So it's just kind
Right.
of in the middle.
Yeah.
But mine
The now, how often do you look at your analytics on your social? Do you look at it regularly to see what posts
do.
are the most?
Yeah, I look at not necessarily the analytics of the whole website, but the analytics of each post. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yep.
So I go to the post, and right under your post, it says view insights, right? So you're
Yep.
going to click that button when you're bored and you have 5 minutes. The reason why you want to see that is because you want to see what people connect to.
Yep. Yeah. What works the best? You know, and if you don't mind, on your platform, what do you find that works the best for you? Is it you just being casual, or is it you being, you know, talking about something going on in the marketplace? What do you find that gets the best for you?
Usually, believe it or not, for whatever even though I think I talk pretty fast to start with, like even my natural pace, but when I'm very excited about something, I can like I talk so fast, right? And usually those videos when I'm like so excited about something and I talk so fast, those are the videos that everybody's like, what? Like they
Yeah.
watch all the time and
Yeah.
they share it. And I'm like, you can't even probably understand half of it because I talk so fast, right? So usually the educational ones, but if I'm really excited about it, like I'm really talking really fast about the subject that I'm talking about, for whatever reason, those work best for me. Like I did a really good one on transaction coordinators, but it's a little bit of a slower tempo video, right? And it didn't do
Right.
as well, even though the
Yeah.
content of it was amazing. Like everybody needs a transaction coordinator, and you need to know your hourly rate, and you need to know at what point you need to stop doing certain things because you're losing money every time you're doing it.
Mhm.
But it didn't do as well because it was a little bit more mellow
Yeah.
and boring and numbers.
Yeah, it wasn't as exciting as what,
Yeah.
and probably not near as high energy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
something that's hard because, you know, like I'll shoot the intro to this later. And my battle is always coming with just enough energy, but not too much. So I don't come off car salesman. That's difficult, you know, for me. And I don't know if that is for you, but for me, that's difficult because sometimes I felt like I was so high energy and I go back and look and it's so monotone. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then, you know,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I
I'll,
watched, like I was doing that presentation about the TCs, and I was like, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And I watched it, I was like, well, that's a little slow, like slower than me, right? So
Yeah.
maybe I was in a slower mood, which at the moment felt like it was just fine. But when I watched it when I was in a higher energy, I was like, well, that's a little slow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's really tough to gauge that. You know, one thing I get from newer agents, Gogo, is they will shoot something and it's not perfect.
Oh.
It's
Can
not
they
perfect.
see me now? Can they see me now? Or is this just sound? Is this just sound, or are they gonna have actually?
It's you get everything. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you call this perfect? Like I look like a tractor driver right now.
You
Like
do not look like a tractor driver, but you know, yeah,
Like,
we
I
know
get
you're
a
moving.
Photoshop, but no, like no jewelry, no makeup. Like my hair's half wet, right? Like who cares about perfect? I have an accent. I mispronounce words all the time. I forget what I want to say mid-sentence. I'm like, oh yeah, what I meant to say, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. There isn't such a thing as perfect. There isn't, not unless you're Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and that's what I try and relate to a lot of people. Say, listen, it's never going to be perfect because I
Done
mean,
is better than perfect.
yeah, it's so hard, and getting them to believe that, you know, just make sure you're putting good content out, make sure you're putting enough content out, and don't worry about it being perfect.
Yeah. And for me, all I
Perfection
need
can
is that they
kill.
watch it, right? I just want to mess with the algorithm. I don't care if you watch it because they want to make fun of me. I just need you to watch it.
Yeah, like and comment. Tell me how bad I look, please.
Take the
lots of
time and watch
comments.
it, and then watch it again, and then tell the world about it, how bad it is, and share it with everyone.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I think we're on the same page here. So,
Yeah.
well, Gogo, I think, you know, do you have any tips? I know you're moving, so I don't want to keep you long today. And I'm so appreciative you took this time to walk us through what you have. Any tips for a new agent getting into the marketplace? How do I drive enough people to my social? Can you give us like 2 or 3 tips that you really believe in that work well for you, please?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Content. So what I mean by that is this: consistency, as in you're going to do it every day. I do about 1 to 2 posts a day and about 10 to 14 stories every single day. And you're like, well, what am I going to post about? I don't know. What did you learn today? What classes are you going to? Who are you meeting with? Are you meeting with the title company? What did you learn from the title person? Are you meeting with the lender? What did you learn from that lender? Are you going showing houses? What house are you showing? Are you going to an open house this weekend? What's the address?
Yeah.
Right? What's your key core? Where's the link that I can go to learn more about you? Like, I don't care what you're posting, just post. 80% of the time you have to be in the pictures and videos. Yeah. Nobody cares about a living room or a kitchen or the key that you're holding up that you just sold the house, right? Like nobody cares. Right. You need to be in it because we don't sell houses. I preach this all the time. We don't sell houses. We sell ourselves and our services. I'm fighting really hard for Joe Schmo over there to choose me as the realtor versus choosing you, Joe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you're working really hard. So they choose you versus choosing me.
Yeah.
And that's everybody's job, right? Because can I sell the same house that you could sell, Joe?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Licensed in California, right? I'm not licensed there, but if I was licensed.
Well, I've got you there. However, I think you could outdo me. That's key is, you are selling yourself and your services. And I think a lot of new people don't realize that, we are selling what we do, and these houses are great. They get views. These beautiful homes are, you see them all over, but you've got to get yourself in the photos. And a lot of people are afraid to do that because their hair and makeup isn't perfect. Their haircut is not great today.
You have to allow people to get to truly know you, right? Yeah. Like somebody that likes me in this format, like no makeup and just kind of down to earth and, hey, this is what's going on. I'm elbow deep in boxes and I'm moving halfway around the country. They're like, she's a real chick. I really like her, right? That person is never going to like me when I'm all fully dialed up in the middle of a $1 million home, right? That person just not going to like me. That's why you have to allow people to see multiple sides of you. So then this way you can have a wide audience, and at some point, whenever they are ready, they're going to use you. Now, you also have to understand people in average move every 7 years, which means I have to entertain you for 7 years before you buy or sell with me. Right. So now there's a long babysitting period of not babysitting. What is it called? Massaging, nurturing. Right. Period of time while you're going to have to continuously stay consistent before they buy or sell with you again. So that's where consistency comes in. There also has to be some schedule to the madness, right? Like you need to know, you have to have a schedule. You need to know what you are doing today. And there's like, what am I going to post? Well, what are you doing today? I know that every Tuesday at 11, I'm doing a podcast. The only reason I'm doing your podcast now because I had to cancel on you and reschedule you. Other than that, I'm doing every Tuesday at 11. That's the only time that I do podcasts. But because so many months filled out, I had to put you on another day. If not, I would have had to make you wait 7 months before I can do Tuesday at 11, right? So I know what I do every Tuesday at 11. I know what I do every single Monday morning. I know what I do on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, and I try to take Saturdays and Sundays off, right? So because I have certain things in my calendar, that gives me a reason. Now I have a reason to post about something.
Yeah, I think you're really hitting on a key point. And something I just said to a couple of I own a commercial brokerage company here in LA, and structure for a real estate agent, especially when you are new, is key.
Yeah, until you get the rhythm of it, right? Like I'm so structured, then I know what I'm doing on every single day at what time. Because I'm doing the same thing every single week. On Tuesday at 11 is podcast. Wednesday, 1 o'clock is production. Thursday at 10 o'clock is Tech Thursday. Friday at 10 o'clock is Agent Attraction. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. is Why Not EXP. Like I can tell you what I'm doing every single day, but I know because I do it all the time to save time every single day of the week, right? Even though it's in my calendar, if you don't have a Google Calendar, like color coordinated of what's family and what's fun and what's a travel and what's business, right? Then you're kidding yourself. I don't even know how you're going to get anywhere in life, right? And then just, you are as good as your word.
Yeah. And you're chasing your tail. If you don't have structure, you're reacting. You're reacting to everything else instead of building your business. And
normally if you're not consistent with what it takes to get business, then you're not going to get consistently business. And that's when you are saying is like, oh, I'll start next week. I'm like, why? Because you want to make money a week from now? You don't want to make money today. You want to make money a week from now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, when you want to get into commercial real estate in Los Angeles, I'm going to hire you. And I think we could get you to be a top producer.
I did commercial for about a hot minute.
Yeah.
Tell you my commercial story. So just because I'm such a little dude. Like I'm this 5'2" little blondie, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a dude inside. Like I'm just stuck in this like little girl's body, right? And so I thought commercial would be so awesome, right? Because I'm like all of the, like in our area, don't take it the wrong way, but in our area, commercial is, I would say 98% on men, and they are, I would say the youngest is early 40, like in 40. Like you're talking 67-year-olds, and they've been in commercial longer than I've been alive, right? So imagine breaking into that market. When I went to one of my listing appointments, so closings, right? And I walk in and there's a bunch of guys around the table that's just me, like 2 attorneys, buyer, seller, and a bunch of guys and me. And they're like, I'm sorry, who are you? And I was like, listing agent. And they're like, what? Right? Like it was so surprising to them. But, you know, on commercial side, it's just too much work. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the money is good if and when it hits, but you work a hell of a lot more than on the residential side. And maybe, just maybe you get paid 19 months from now.
Yeah, well, it depends on the deal. The leases are a lot shorter term, but on the investment sales, it's tough right now. But we have, in our brokerage, we're probably 40% women. And so, well, we also have a mentoring called Mentor Wire. And so we mentor young women that are coming out of high school, going into college, that want to get into real estate as a career. And so, and they can be either as an agent, a title officer, escrow officer, banker, whatever. And then we'll find mentors for them, and then they mentor them. So trying to bring more women into it. But I think with the pandemic, we've seen it's evolving, and I'm talking about Los Angeles. I don't know the rest of the industry. I can just talk about commercial brokerage in Los Angeles. We're getting more women, and it's more attractive to younger people. But I do think,
but I feel like real estate is kind of like that too. Like when I got into it, I would say average age in the office where I was at was like 62 years old or something. I was 29 at the time when I got licensed. Now we are talking 2011. This is before everybody wanted to be a realtor, right? Right. I would say at that time, probably was a 60-40, 60% men, 40% women. And now we are, I think, officially nationwide, 52% are women. So now there's more women than men in real estate. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, now, do you belong to Crew by any chance? You probably did commercial. Did you belong to Crew? I mean, no. Okay. It's a good thing for women that are thinking about going to commercial to check into that. It's Commercial Real Estate Women Crew. But Gogo, thank you very much for taking the time. I know that with all this in your life going on, you didn't need to take the time. So I think you're going to help a lot of people. So I very, very much appreciate it. I'm going to put your contact information down below so people can reach out. And if you can send me a link to your podcast, I'll put that down there as well so they can find you. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I had the great idea of doing a podcast, and I barely have time to attend other people's podcasts. So
it's tough, and I appreciate it. And for those of you watching, thank you for watching today. Again, Gogo's information is going to be down below. Make sure you check it out. Check out our podcast. And while you're watching this, make sure you give us a like. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. Go get them.
Nice meeting you.